Good morning. Hit that thumbs up button. I got to turn down the volume so I don't hear myself. I'm going to load up. There I am, I'm live. And I got to turn on my do not disturb. Do not disturb, and I have to go. And we're going to start. We got to start. We don't like a black screen. We're going to look at TrendSpider. There we go. Actually, I'll start this up because TrendSpider, the discount is in the description below. DSP 25% off. I need to start my Active Trader Pro. Let's see how long this takes. I actually restarted the computer this morning. Believe it or not, morning, Justin. It is a Tuesday that feels like a Monday. That is rainy and disgusting. But we should be thankful that we're not in Davos. Davos is crazy cold, I think. It looks miserable. I'm going to start scanning. Boy, I tell you what, that core portfolio is doing well. You know what else is doing well? Roblox. Up 15% in pre-market trading. I have to look up why. Those guys in Davos just look miserable. Joe Kernan, by the way, the miserable, grumpy old man of CNBC, just looks like he's not having fun at all. Nothing looks fun to him. Oh, man. Why do you crash like this? Okay, we're going to force quit again. Active Trader Pro. Force quit. It's got to be OBS that has a conflict or something with Active Trader Pro. It's got to be OBS. Market Scanner, daily market daily stock picks scanner. That's what I'm using. Scan. I need to move this over here to make sure I know what I'm looking at. Okay, nothing on the core investment scanned. That's unusual. Let me make sure it actually ran. Yeah, it did. Core investments. Let's look at some ETFs. See if any of these crossed up. I doubt it. Something's going on with TrendSpider. Remember, if you subscribe to TrendSpider and you want me to, I'm going to go over, do a session with one of their, has encountered a serious problem. We're sorry for the fees may be caused. Efficiency in wine, the compatibility. Let's see if it works. Wine. Hit me out. Hit me with them. I'll put them in my notes. You know what's funny? So I have two-factor authentication on everything. And if someone were to tune into, I always have this fear, if someone were to tune into the live stream and just read my lips, because I'm one of those guys that when I read, Active Trader Pro seems to be working. I did good, by the way, in getting out of Bed Bath & Beyond on Friday because it just crashed. we're talking a difference of $5, I think, with the amount of money that I put in. I did not do a good job of getting out of Mara. Mara soared up. Okay, we got Active Trader Pro. We got this. Boom. Mara soared up. Let's look at Mara. We'll look at Mara and then, 837. I got out somewhere in this neighborhood, 740 or so. So, but here's Roblox, by the way. Okay, let me put those in my notes. Hold on. CF, UAN, NEM. These are all CF. I understand is a fertilizer company. BMO, TDBN. James, I'd love to tell you about the taxes with Canadian stocks. Google is a better source. I have invested several times outside the United States. I have found it to be less advantageous than if I would have just invested in something that was US based, I probably should say, in a polite way. It always makes sense to me because, like, for instance, Japan, I invested in this one Japanese company years back, and Japan would take taxes, the US would take taxes. I wound up, I think, of the profit that I made, giving away close to 50% of it. South America, I believe, is another one that I've invested in the past. And it was an energy company. Wound up giving it away. Just, I've always, my belief is that unless there's some type of crazy, like Melly. Melly's a good example. And let me take a look at Melly. We'll go to Safari View. Melly is now, mind you, it's South America kind of Amazon is what you can think of it. It is not one where you would pay foreign taxes because it's listed on an exchange here. But say for some reason you go to the Brazilian stock exchange or it's just a parrot kind of thing and you're trading it foreign. There also was, during the vaccine, there were several European stocks that were traded on European exchanges that were beneficial. I think I wound up getting like a $30 per trade charge from Fidelity. Made no sense. We invested, I think, like $200-300 in one. And it wound up, the $60 fees were just crazy. And we didn't know it. We just kind of, Luckily, I'm in a position where I called Fidelity. I said, it's crazy. And they're like, yeah, we're going to refund that for you. But Melly's a good one because Melly is, I don't think you'd get charged anything from a foreign standpoint on Melly, but there might be some tax implications on Melly. Again, it's a super expensive one, but this is a Brazilian one. I don't know that you get charged anything on it. Your best bet is either to call the broker that you're dealing with or I've always found it better just to invest in the U.S. equivalent. Unless you know something. Like Melly, if you knew Melly, here, let's go over Melly. Because if we go back, I'm going to look at a weekly of Melly. So here's Melly. So let's say let's take January 2021. You're at $2,000 a share. $2,000 a share. And today you're at 1,000. So you've lost 50%. Amazon. January 2021. You're at 154 a share. Today you're at 98 per share. You've lost less. You've paid less in taxes because you haven't paid South America taxes. Again, my kind of point being, it depends on what you're doing. I know, God, what's his name? Leon Cooperman suggests there's a Canadian energy company that he buys, and it's a family energy company. And he says it's fantastic and blah, blah, blah. I went in, I Googled it, found the American equivalent. Nothing on spider sectors. CF, you have to worry about the natural gas input going up. But I think that's it. I'll look at it. I believe that was one thing that I found when I did a little research, because fertilizer takes a lot of natural gas. Boy, look at that gap. This was down at $1.40. It's at $1.80 now. That's a big move. ATAI. I am scanning the ARK funds, by the way. So this is not making money. This is a healthcare biotech company. But I like them for biotech because, it's a cannabis. Trippy trading. Psychedelic stocks. ATAI. Let's see what they have here. There we go. Clinical stage biopharmaceutical company. Zephyr, this is your wheelhouse here. In the first year of the new year, the stock plummeted when the failed results of ATAI's New York City-based subsidiary Perception Neuroscience Phase 2. Company said the compound showed efficacy signals at all time points, but the trial did not meet its primary endpoint of statistically significant change from baselines. Said that we continue to look at the study data, work with Perception to figure out 2023 could be a make or break year for the company. Let's put this one in. Scans. ATAI. Biopharma on ARK's radar. Study failure. But 2023 could be make or break. When you see news like that, typically, by the way, this line hits me for some reason. 2023 could be a make or break year. It's interesting to me. And I say interesting. Look at that gap. See, it's kind of capitulated down here between 169 and 178. It's trading at about 180 right now, which is where it kind of fell to. This candle, it went all the way down. Its low was 145. Its high was 194. It's a 27% swing in one 4-hour candle. It's huge. Huge. Banks are tanking. Banks are tanking. Okay. ARK Holdings. Let's go to the Dow 30. We'll scan the Dow 30, see if any of these have come up in the algorithm scan. None. Let's look at the NASDAQ 100. Boom, boom, boom. Monster Energy again. Oh, that ascending triangle was broken, and now you're... See that top line? So when you have ascending triangles, this top is resistance, and that top is at 102.85. So you only really have $1. But see here, the low was 99. Within a day, you're at 103. So 3-4%. But are we looking at a breakout? That the 200-day crossing this gap here at 95 kind of puts this as a base level. See, because you got this gap right here, which it broke, it then filled, but this on the way up, it really still has this gap that's not, well, I guess it was filled back here, but their earnings are coming up. I'm not going to bring it up. I like it, but I'd rather have people go into Pepsi or Coke. And the only reason I say that is this growth is better. Like performance year 8.62, performance year to date 0.54. But you're 2% above your 52-week high. Below, your 52-week high. It's not worth it. No. Let us go to the S&P 100 index. See if anything crossed up here. AIG. AIG is a favorite of mine. Okay, I got to read these. You are Brittany. Brittany bitch is back. I need to have a soundboard button when I say Brittany bitch. Steven, let me look at. I'll put in CCL. I'll put in there to look at it. But AIG, I was going to show you guys AIG. This is why I love AIG. And this is the interesting part. If we go back, let's hope it. Maybe it's going to need to be monthly. Yeah, it's going to need to be monthly. And this is why you can take advantage of some of these things. So this is AIG. AIG is a reinsurance company. And AIG is one that I played during the 2008 housing crisis. And you can see how it just crashed. I believe I bought it here in February of 2009. I remember my purchase price was somewhere in the $7, $8, $9 range. You can see the next candle. So this is February 2009. This is March 2009. The high was $35.40. So this was playing out. Essentially what was happening was during 2008, 2009, during this downturn, AIG was the insurer of a lot of these mortgage-backed securities. And there was talk of, hey, we're going to go out of business, we're going to go down, and it would have crashed the entire world economy. Well, what happened was the U.S. government steps in and starts supporting AIG and says, we're going to give you a bailout of a ton of money. This was literally zooming up and down. If you go back and look at like a daily or something of this, you could make 40, 50, 60% in this stock in a day just based on news swings. And so I got in and out of this one, made a bunch of money. and kind of, I think I wound up buying it here at about $20 or something. And I held on to it for probably a little longer than I should have. I think I wound up getting out somewhere in this neighborhood at about 30. And I just realized, hey, I thought it was a $20 stock and it was going to be back here at 700. It's never gotten above 60. See, me getting rid of it and pointing and going in another direction at $20 or $30 was a good idea. And that's when you have to kind of almost look at, okay, like let's take Devon, for instance. Devon is one that I've held on to. And we can look at, let's look at a weekly. A weekly on Devon's going to be better. So here's a weekly of Devon. I got in at about 52, 53, somewhere in this neighborhood. I want to say it was like probably here, July. So I haven't held it a year, but I'm in there. Now, it probably would have behooved me to trade this one, but I haven't. I've just kind of owned it. Now, in my mind, I'm kind of looking at, I'm close to a 1 year. So realize the difference between long-term and short-term. And this is taxes. And this is where you've got to understand your taxes. And I was going over with some friends today. This weekend, this guy, one of my buddies, Mike, just had a kid. And I was like, okay, could you, he wants to set his daughter up for quote unquote life. And so I said, okay, at this point, can you afford $100 a week or $100 a month? He's like, yeah, that's no problem. I said, okay, so put in $1,000 into account and put $100 a month in there. And you just invest it in some type of thing that you think is going to grow over the next six months to a year. I said, these are 6 month to a year investments. Because what you do is you have it in a brokerage, not a retirement, but it's a brokerage account and it's for the kid and it's in the kid's name. Because the kid's not going to make $40,000 a year for a very long time, there's no long-term capital gains. So you put that money in, and after a year, you kind of reallocate it somewhere, or you move it into different sectors or different areas, which you think, you're kind of basing it on movement. But if you take that after a year and they make under $40,000 and they're single, they don't pay capital gains on it. So it's a way of kind of playing that stock game and that shell game for your kids. Check with a real tax person that's legal. I just told Mike, hey, check with your tax person that it's legal. Because as a custodian and declared as a dependent, the kid may not be able to actually have they may get stuck under your taxes. But I said there's thinking outside the box. And the biggest thing is it only matters if you get audited. But yeah, Devon and AIG difference in there. Okay, I'm going to go to the energy sector. Because I'm not going to bring up AIG. AIG is a Kramer company. It's got good guts. It's got a good management team. No. Fuck you, Jim Kramer. Ooh. Phillips is setting up for a rise or a fall. And you know what I didn't do again this weekend? I didn't put together the damn energy and the ETF, the levered ETF watch groups. I got to put in my thing. Okay, I'm only bringing up ATAI because I got a ton to go over. Yeah, but I think it's at 52-week. I mean, let's see. GLD, I think, is Sector Spider Gold Trust. Okay, let's go back to the strategy tester so that we can look. Is it a good time to pick up gold, James? I don't think so. Here's why I don't think gold's a good. GLD, this is the Spider Gold Trust. So this is how you, essentially, if you want to invest in gold, you can just use this one. The algorithm got you in way back here at 155. It's got confirmation. Let's go over to FinViz, GLD. 52-week. You're 7% below your 52-week high. Man, I don't know. In my mind, and again, if you're investing, anytime's a good time to put money into a stock. If you're investing, if you're trading, which one would I rather have? One like this that could go pretty much to 46.50, and you're trading at 30. Well, I think in pre-market it's at 38. I think it's just breaking its 200-day. Or do I think GLD is good? Okay, let me look at GDXU, Brittany bitch. I think that's the miners, isn't it? Yeah, that's the triple levered miners. See, and here's what, remember, it's triple levered. So if we go to weekly, look at the weekly. I don't even know what happened here. Oh, that's a reverse split, 10 for 1. It's a levered ETF, so it's going to yeah, and by the way, I do want to bring up, remember, and I know I talk about trades a lot. You guys that are younger, I want to steer you guys in the direction. A significant portion of your portfolio should just be buy and hold, or 6 months to, if you're trading, it should be a 6-month company. We're in fairly uncertain times. And a good one that I'm going to bring up is Tesla. A good instance of this is Putin likes this stock. Tesla. So Elon Musk has been sounding off about a recession for quite a while. And recently he said, hey, the Fed is not it needs to lay off the tightening and needs to stop raising rates so that business, the economy has a chance to, quote unquote, come back. If they overdo it and they shoot down the economy, we're heading towards the recession of all recessions. And he's been pretty clear about that. He, as the CEO of Tesla, is in a position with a luxury brand to throw out, hey, what am I going to do if we go into a recession? And I'll bring it up. This is literally a business school case, and I have it written. This is a business school case study in real time. His idea of let's drop the prices of the best selling car in the market by $20,000 while interest rates are rising, and let's see what happens. Now, this is just last week he did this. That's what's crazy. So he's doing this business case study, and you're getting to watch it in real time. I guarantee you, in Harvard, in Yale, in Wharton, this will be studied for probably the next 10 to 15 years. What happened to Tesla? He made a drastic move. Now, there's two reasons for that. The first reason is we saw in December when they gave a $7,500 rebate, they didn't push the needle. And I know I talked to a couple of friends who work at Tesla, and they were like, yeah, sales were crazy towards the end when he did the $7,500. They weren't as crazy. Inventory still built up. And so what Elon Musk saw was, hey, inventories are still building up. We've got the cars sitting on the lot. It doesn't make sense for us to have cars sitting anywhere. Unlike Ford, unlike General Motors, they don't just make cars to make cars and then sell them afterwards. Tesla wants to be an on-demand kind of manufacturer, but they do have to monetize their manufacturing lines, so they do have to make cars. So they had all these cars sitting there. This decision in one weekend has halved the inventory levels for Tesla. So that's why you're seeing Tesla up. We're seeing when he drops that price, he qualifies for the EV tax credit. 2, he is out competing the market because the cars are so in demand. When demand is slowing, he dropped the prices to increase the demand. I mean, it's just business school 101. He's doing everything right in that sense. And make no mistake about it, business is not slowing just for Tesla. Business is slowing for Ford, for General Motors, for Toyota, for Lexus, for Volkswagen. It's slowing for everybody. The new and used car market, it's slowed down. So let's look at BBBY. And I am not going to look at this one in anything other than Active Trader Pro. So BBBY is an interesting one because, well, let's look at a 5-day. This was Friday right here. And you saw throughout the day, I think I got out 460, 470, somewhere in that neighborhood. I wanted it at $5, but I chased it down. So I do think that Bed Bath & Beyond, Kramer was in there over the weekend, and he's taking pictures at the store. I mean, the guy is the creepiest old, pedo. I saw a movie this weekend on Hulu, and this kid walks in, they're standing at an ice cream truck, and the guy's like, "Oh, girl, do you want an ice cream?" And she goes, "Pedo." Kramer's like the pedo old guy in Bed Bath & Beyond taking pictures. But there is a 33% short interest, and this hasn't changed since Friday. But what did change since Friday is that selling pressure. And you can see we're back to, let's see, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Wednesday of last week, we were at the $2 mark. If I were to pick a two kind of big, I want to say big, but that volume mark right there at 310, it looks like it's putting in a pretty good 310 to 329. I would say it's putting in a pretty good bounce level based on you bounced right here and you bounced right here. I would say from the upside, you're looking at between 450 and 469 just based on that. Now, here's what you have to really look at. Remember, we talked last week about volume and how volume really drives the price. Take a look at this volume. The volume spikes specifically. That spike kind of drove it a little bit. Then, boom, you had a spike here at open. Then, boom, you had a spike here at open. Right now, I'm not seeing the spikes in the pre-market, but I didn't see them in the pre-market before. So where are we going to? I don't know. I mean, it closed at 366. I think you're probably going to open up there. If I'm taking a guess at it, I'm not in any rush to get into this one because if it does go to 4, then I can probably get in thinking that it'll go to 450. So this is a trade. This is a trade. Not an investment whatsoever. And Joe's right. This is heading towards bankruptcy. There's walk into a Bed Bath & Beyond. There's nothing in there. They've had problems with their inventory supply. They've had problems paying their vendors. They can't get anything. It's just walk in. I mean, they'll pay you to walk through the store at this point. So I just don't think that there's anything there for other than a trade. And the only reason this is a trade is because the retail traders are in here. That's it. Now, on the other hand, Mara. Ooh-wee, $8.50. I had to approve that comment. And I don't hate Kramer, James. I hate what he stands for. I hate that he says he educates people. He's got a tech service. He doesn't educate people. He does what every other person that does a tech service does. They read. They read voraciously. And they understand, companies' disclosures and things of that sort. Cramer's no different. Cramer's no genius. It's been shown. The fact that he is the fact that he displays himself as a quote unquote expert, but has the same biases as everybody else and has no humility about it. That's the problem that I have for Cramer. Wow, look at Walt Disney. Since 2005, you're up 488%. The S&P is only up 140%. Disney's been a good buy. Throw that against Tesla. Throw that against Amazon. Throw that against anything else. Okay, I got a ton to go over. Okay, let me see if I missed anything. NUGT. Let me look. That's one of the gold ones too. Yeah, this is the 2 times. It's just a little safer. It's just not going to move as much. My take, go big or go home, bitch. Don't go with this one. Go with the GDXU. But this is one. So for normal people who have full-time jobs, other than you freaking degenerates who seem to be on here all day, every day, yeah, James, Disney's one, don't look at it, man. I'm telling you, don't look at it. If you're in this one, this is not a trade. You could have traded at 80 something and just gone up to 100, but you're at the 200 day. You're at the 200 day. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Disney's an iconic brand. Disney is just, it's got the best freaking brand that you could have and that you can hope for. And it's got a guy who's guided it. Bob Iger, the problem is he was CEO from 2005 to 2020. The stock increased by 488% over that time. Yeah, Brittany bitch works overnight. That doesn't sound right, Brittany. For anyone tuning in who doesn't know, Brittany Britch, his name is Brandon. Uses his girlfriend's Brittany. So when he came on here and he said, "Hey man, I'm just using my girlfriend or his wife, girlfriend or wife, I'm not sure, but I think it may be your wife." So I call him Brittany bitch. I don't even know what Pokemon does. My brother played it to try and lose weight, and I guess he's been helpful. But I'm looking at some of the core portfolio. Tesla's up 2%. Roblox, man, Roblox is one. Oh, yeah, wife. I'm kicking myself over this one. Guys, if Roblox gets back in the 20s and I tell you, yeah, you should buy it, your response to me should be put up or shut up. This one's going to 40. Shopify. Why didn't I buy this one again? I didn't buy it when it got down to the 200 day because I was like, it might break the 200 day. Shopify at 32. Should buy it. I'm keeping it off screen, Mike. The vape, bro, it's off screen. Russ. Yeah. I want you to so my guidance to you guys is if for some reason I'd say, yeah, it's for sure. For sure you want to buy this. And I say this. I want the comment, show me the money. And I'll put some money behind it. Because, listen, you guys saw last week, it wasn't a lot of money. But I went in freaking Bed Bath. I went full retail last week. Between Mara and Bed Bath & Beyond. You know what we should look at, too, is Carvana. Carvana's in a short squeeze. Let's look. And you know how I know, by the way, Carvana's in a short squeeze? Is I live in Atlanta, And I drove to my friend's house in Virginia Highlands. And so I had to go. There is a Carvana car vending machine on 75 South in downtown Atlanta. It is empty. There's like 3 cars in the entire car vending machine. So it's nuts. It's nuts. Carvana's at 625, I ask. Here, Friday, again, I don't see the volume, but I do see the volume here. See how volume affects the price? Look at the volume, like shoot it up from 440 up to 540. And then the volume levels off, and it just kind of levels off. Then you get this increase in volume here, and it shoots it up to $8. Then it kind of levels off after hours. Then you get the increase in volume. I bet Carvana is going to pop on the open. You're 4 minutes away from open. You know, here, James, I'll tell you. If you guys have been listening to me for a while, Spotify is, they pay me to read an ad. It's the most ridiculous thing. I don't know that any of you effers are lining up to do a podcast. I'm the only one with time on my hands because I'm freaking retired to do a podcast. Oh, you know what we haven't done? We haven't done today? Let's go on YouTube Live. We'll go to YouTube. Let's go to YouTube Live to see what other... But I'll look at Spotify. I love this Danny J, by the way. I like her a lot. She's so feisty. AMC Ape 117, the best plan. He's got 302 people watching. He's got a bus up there. These guys are good. They have 8,000 people watching. Forex. Aww. I don't know what this is. Be happy you got this. Oh, that's one of those. Jesus, music channels get more views than I do. Crypto banter. Oh my, look at that background. This dude's got some production value. This guy's got 600,000 subscribers.
I am going to try and get out of it because I don't like being in trades that are against what I believe in the market. And right now I'm super bullish. So I don't want to be super bullish and be taking a bearish trade. So I'm kind of looking for the opportunity to get out. I think there will be a pullback. When a pullback comes, I'm cutting that short. Because fundamentally,
okay, he's got some major production value.
I shorted it because I just thought it...
Major production value. Now, that's a green screen, obviously, he's got behind him. Oh my God, though. Dude, production. Kudos. Wow. Now, I can ADD, look at the look at the amount of tabs that are open on this browser. Holy cow. What? Crypto bubbles. Oh, look at the amount of downloads he's got open. Oh my God. Marshall killing it. He's got how many people in here? 2,200 people. Wow. Okay, I gotta get out of this one. This one's blowing my freaking mind. Gold trading, he's got 407 people watching. Gold. By the way, if you haven't hit the thumbs up and you're watching, hit the thumbs up. Also, subscribe. I was looking. 30% of the live viewers who chat aren't subscribed. 30% of you effers. So, and join us every morning. Shopify's up 1%. Wow. Okay, let me look at the chat real quick. Go big or go home, Russ the cat. Put the kids on the bus. Spot. Let me look at Spot. Let me go back. Okay, we're here. Spotify. I'm a fan of Spotify in that, yeah, I'm a subscriber of Spotify. Yeah, I do a podcast on Spotify. I partner with them. Just to give you a behind the scenes, it's funny because I think it was Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays podcast. The listeners were cut in half. And so I texted them on yesterday, maybe it was Sunday. And I said, hey, what's going on? They're like, yeah, we have a bug. Don't worry, it'll be corrected. All of a sudden this morning, I get more listens. I don't know what it is, but James, man. James, you're making fun of me to using like 0.0001% of my portfolio. Dude, I will tell you, I am 52 years old. The amount of money that you put on a trade does not matter. You have the same amount of stress. That's what, when you're trading during the day, it's the same amount of stress. I don't distinguish between, and that's part of my problem as a trader. It's also part of the frugality of me as a trader, is that I don't care if I'm in there for $5, I'm all in. I'm worried. Now, remember, I identify these things before I go in. So it's a trade versus an investment. Investment, I don't care if I put $5 in. I don't care if I put $50,000 in. I just don't have stress. My resting heart rate is still 55. But if I'm in there in a trade, that stress is real, dude. No, I think it's the Chiefs and the Bills if they play. It's here in Atlanta. And I talked to my buddy, and I think a bunch of folks are going, but I won't go. I'm a big fan of NFL on TV. Less of a fan of NFL live at the stadiums. So here's a good story. You guys will like this story. So it's 2004. I'm in charge of Time Warner Cable down in St. Augustine, Florida. So the northeast corner of Florida. And the Super Bowl is in Jacksonville. And it is Philadelphia versus New England. And I essentially get, I think it was Playboy that invited me to the Super Bowl, but the entire 2 weeks of the Super Bowl is like a party every night. There's like 10, 15 parties every night. NFL players are all over the place at these parties. I get invited to everything. I'm kind of hanging out. I feel like, I'm the shit. At this point in time, I was drinking alcohol, and I just got wrapped up in one Playboy party. I remember I lived in California for 10 years. I dated a playmate, so I had a good time. And so I knew a lot of people at Playboy. I go to the Playboy party. In fact, I met Ben Roethlisberger his rookie year. That was his rookie year. And I met him, nicest guy in the world. I don't think he turned out to be the nicest guy in the world, but nicest guy in the world. In fact, he tracked me down. I said, I want a picture with you. He tracked me down to he goes, I need to go and talk to Dion real quick, and then I'll come back. And he tracked me down to take a picture with him. Super nice guy. But that night I had a little too much to drink, and Playboy sent a limo to my house to pick me up for the Super Bowl. And I told the limo, I said, you know what? I'm not going to go. And so I said, I'm just going to watch it on TV. And it was one of the first years where you could watch it in HD. And because I was in charge of the cable company, I had full HD and I had big screen TV. It was nice at home. And I stayed at home, just kind of sat there and watched the game. My buddy Brian calls me up afterwards, and he's like, you really should have come. I said, why? He goes, we had seats right behind Paul McCartney. We hung with Paul McCartney in the entire Super Bowl. I was pissed. I could have hung with a Beatle. Yeah. No, and Brandon, man, my life has been Forrest Gump, left and right, I'm telling you. 31. Now there's, it's funny because what is it? YouTube tells me at a couple points in time, I think the most I've ever had in chat was like 60 at one point in time. And it's usually where I'm telling these stories where it kind of pops up and stuff. But yeah, true story. I have several people who could confirm it as well. So here's Spotify's chart, by the way. Probably would have made sense here at 78. But here's the thing. Spotify's been popping. It still ain't making money. And that's why I wouldn't put money into it. Not that I don't think Spotify. I think Spotify's CEO. And this is why when you put money into stuff, you have to understand the management team. I think he's done a fantastic job. And the vision, I've heard him say this before. We want to be the listening, like Uber is for the last mile. We want to be the listening for people who just want to listen to things. They want to be the place to go where if you just want audio, that's where they go. And that's, Joe, that's part of the problem is they gave Joe Rogan so much money. And not that he's not worth it. It's kind of like Sirius giving Stern all that money. It kind of positioned them where, okay, now they have all the Joe Rogan fans, but he's not growing. When Stern went to satellite radio, he brought all of his listeners over, but he didn't help the business grow. He kind of stayed there, and he's the lost leader. It's a very, I talked about business case studies. The business case study of Stern and Rogan and things of that sort is very much the business case study of NFL Sunday Ticket, where if DirecTV did not pay billions of dollars to hold on to NFL Sunday Ticket, they would have been out of business a long time ago. I don't know how Dish does it, but, Dish has probably a phone service coming about. So, but yeah, let's look at here. We're live in the market. So let's go back to Active Trader Pro and we'll go to a today, a 5-minute chart on Carvana. It did not pop. Let's look at Mara. Did Mara pop on open? Got the volume pop there. See the red bar? This got the volume pop and the price pop. But it came right back down. So this candle alone, you've got a high of $8.74. Wow. Is that right? Yeah, it says $8.74, but it's got to be wrong. Let's look at Bed Bath & Beyond, see if that one, I think that one's going to pump down. It kind of stayed where it was at. You had a big red volume candle, but see the MACD's kind of crossing down. It's going to come down. Here's my view on Peloton. We'll go to the long view for this one. And then I'll start the podcast, by the way. Peloton, come on. Why is this not rolling? Oh, we're going to have to restart TrendSpider alone. It might have updated. Default workspace. Let's look at Peloton. We'll go into the algorithm. And remember, if you guys subscribe to TrendSpider, send me any questions that you want. They do have free education, one-on-one education if you sign up for the elite level. So to use my algorithm, you need that elite level in the middle. The discount for 25% off is DSP Daily Stock Pick 25. Here's Peloton. This kills me because I should have seen it at $8, that it might come back. But see here, let me expand this so you can see it. See here how this MACD line is kind of just crossing over. And then let me expand this because this is the RSI. Oh, come on. I have to make this bigger. Then I have to make this bigger. This is the RSI. Got up here to 74, and as of today, it crosses down at 69. That tells me that the stock is probably going to come down in price or capitulate where it's at. And the MACD is going to kind of move its way down. It's still above that 9-day. It's way above that 9-day, trading just above the Bollinger Bands there. If we pull this volume up to where it was trading at about 1322, you can see the volume shelf here at 11 is building. That volume shelf down there, if we lose 11, you're coming down to 1087. But then if you lose that, there's a pretty good volume shelf here at 9, but then at 836. And that's just from December 1st. So these are the people that are holding the stock on the volume, remember. So I don't want to say, I wouldn't get into Peloton right now. Outside of a catalyst, I can't imagine. Their earnings are February 7th. What are they going to announce? Here's what I know about Peloton. And it's a very personal story. But personally, I love Peloton. I love their yoga programs. DT, I forget her name, her last name. She's awesome. She's just awesome. And their Peloton instructors are just so much better than anybody else. Apple Fitness sucks. It sucks for me. Don't like it. I like Netflix. If you just go to Netflix and search Nike, you'll find all their workout programs. I think that's where stuff might be heading. And so what I worry about with Peloton is they've got all these people with these expensive bikes. It's probably coming up. I mean, this gap has already been filled. It might fill it again. I can't imagine that after their earnings, it's going to be amazing. Because here's what Peloton's doing. They're not selling you the bike. They're just renting it to you now. They've got so much inventory of bikes, they're just renting it to you. At $40, no reason that it was at $40. It's not making money. Performance for 1 year is 66. Performance year to date, though, you're up 46%. All of these stocks that have been beaten down have had a year to date of just incredible. I mean, again, you were at $7, $8, and you're up at $11 now. Doesn't mean it's coming back. I think earnings will start bringing this down. That's just my take on it. So, okay, let me start the podcast now. Because I do have to go over earnings this week, too. Let's look at FCX and Cleveland Cliffs as well. And I'll go over Tesla. I know somebody asked about Tesla. My price target. My price target stays the same. Uvixi, I think I did this one, or I may have posted on Twitter about it. Let me see. Did I post on Twitter about it? Let me see. Skip for now. I don't like notifications. By the way, I have no notifications on anything. That's the only way to live. Did I post about the VIX being broken? I think I did. By the way, if you're not on my Twitter, it's a great chart. This right here is just so here, S&P 500 history. This goes all the way back to 1927. The Great Depression. Look at that move. That move is huge. I mean, that just, God, makes me sick. What people must have gone through. World War II, you had a big downturn. Korean War, nothing, just swamp. Suez Canal crisis, okay. Missile crisis, down, Oil embargo, 1973 to 74, yeah, you went down. Reagan era, boom, stagflation. We went down. This is the dot-com bubble right here. This is the global financial crisis, which was a big one, which took us down below the dot bomb. That's what's called the lost decade right there. 2000 to 2010, the lost decade. Ever since then, it's been a straight up line. I mean, if I took this and just drew a line, and I could draw a line, I mean, since 1931, when the S&P was, remember, this is 10, 100, 1,000, and 10,000. You're at 4,000 right now. So even though that 10 to 100, it's timed by 10, it's 10 times each time, each kind of metric there. The move from here at 100 up to here at 1,000, this one, say it's 60, up to 1,000. That's a huge percentage. So, Zephin, the Amazon partnership and let me explain the Amazon partnership with Peloton. So, Peloton, in my mind, will probably release some type of streaming workout programs via Amazon. And it'll be on an Amazon Prime, and you'll be able to get those. That's where the partnership benefits Amazon. The real benefit for Peloton was, I think, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of, I want to say 60 million per month searches on Amazon for Peloton that were going unrecognized and to third party because they were searching for Peloton, and Peloton didn't have an agreement with them. So there was nothing. So essentially when you see this slide here, yeah, there was nothing in it for Peloton. Then you see this announcement. Let me see. Peloton Amazon deal announcement. When was it? It was August. So if you'd gone back in August, let's go back to August. This was when the deal was announced. I mean, that's the pop right there, I think. August 17th. So you're trading here at 13. I just don't know that the Peloton Amazon deal right now, it benefits Peloton because there's all those searches. The problem is if you go to Amazon and you search Peloton, they're selling their shoes and their bikes and their weights and things of that sort. And you can look, the bike mat, Peloton Women's Standard, all of this was going to third parties. But is it really going to Peloton now? Because, $125 for freaking these shoes, probably not worth it. $14.45 for the bike, probably not worth it. $25 for a set of 5-pound weights. I just don't see it. I don't see it benefiting them. But for me personally, I went from paying Peloton $12 a month to paying them nothing. So, indices check. Let's look. Yeah, $60. Okay, I'm up by 0.16. What's the market up? Market's down. I'm beating the indices, and it's all Apple. Okay. I'll be right back. Got to fill up a water bottle before I start this thing. Okay. And I do want to tell you guys, if you hang around after I'm done with the podcast, we'll goof on YouTubers again. But I'm going to do the podcast now and hope that the dogs don't interrupt me. Okay. Good morning. It's Tuesday, January 17th. On a Tuesday that feels like a Monday. That is actually a Tuesday, but it definitely feels like a Monday. Okay, so I've got a bunch of people I've been talking for about, it's 9:51 right now. I think I got on about 8:30, so I am, about an hour and a half in if you want to look at charts. If you're listening in your car and you want to go back and look at some of these charts. So I'm going to start off with Tesla just because it's personally one of the biggest things in my craw. I am not in the stock, not at all. In fact, I got rid of the ARK funds at the end of the year. So I don't have any of the ARK funds. I also don't have any Tesla. I sold it for a capital gain. So I wound up, I'll probably wait for it. Today it's up 4%. It's up at 127. And it's had a good climb. Its earnings are coming out here on January 25th. The algorithm had you in at 119. You're at 127. So the algorithm is actually positive. If you didn't buy at 119, you could have gotten at 101. And it seems that 101 is a very big, the 100 mark is kind of a support level. I don't want to say that it's an absolute support level because I continue to think that it's going to cover that daily gap that's back at about 85 or so. We'll look at it. But right now I'm looking at this on the algorithm. And in the algorithm is a 4-hour chart. So it's 4 hours each candlestick. And we talked it last week. If you listen to my podcast last week, there was a YouTube video by Trading Price Action. Financial Wisdom is the YouTube channel. And the title of the actual YouTube video is Trading Price Action Validated by Trading Volume. Go and watch that. And then come back here and look at this chart. Look at the volume in Tesla. The volume has been going up, but the stock has been going down. And it's been selling pressure on it. And you can clearly see the morning candles between 9:30 and 12:30, or 9:30 and 1:30, are significantly higher than the afternoon candles. This would tell me if you're going to buy or you're going to sell and you're going to do on a trade basis, you're probably better off doing it in the morning than you are in the afternoon just because you can catch either the high or the low, whatever you want. And if you're in TSLQ, it's probably good to look at the TSLA chart as well. Or TSLI or whatever, TSLL. I think there's a bunch of short ETFs out there for this single stock. But this is just a good chart. You're up above the 9-day. Now, here's what I really want to talk about. Elon has been super vocal about the Fed stop in raising rates. He wants them to just halt it. He wants to accelerate that timeline. And so what he's done is taken a luxury brand, an iconic brand that's in the S&P, Tesla, and he's done basically made a $20,000 price cut in the two most popular products that Tesla sells, the Model 3 and the Model Y. And I was telling YouTube before, this is an absolute business school study case. They will be studying this in Harvard. They will be studying this in Wharton. They will be studying this in every business school over the next 10 years. Elon said, hey, let's drop the price of the best-selling car on the market and drop it by $20,000 while interest rates are rising. So interest rates are rising. Demand goes down. What does Elon do? He says, I want to spur on demand. So I'm going to drop the price by $20,000. Make no mistake about it. Tesla is not the only brand where demand is slowing down. GM, Ford, they're all having problems selling cars. You've seen the used car market dry up. We talked about the short squeeze on Carvana because they went out and bought a bunch of cars and now they can't sell them for what they bought them for. So consumer demand is slowing across the board. He wants to outcompete the market. So essentially what he saw was, hey, we took December and we took $7,500 off our most popular cars. And we saw some demand, but we didn't see a great demand. So what are we going to do in January? We're going to double that. We're going to go to $20,000 across the board down. And he doesn't have a problem filling his luxury, which is the Model S and X. He doesn't have a problem with that. But he does want to outcompete the market. And the other thing is, all of these cars with a $20,000 price cut also qualify for the EV tax credit. So essentially, he gets you another $7,500 in your pocket. He's got crazy great ideas, and he's spurring it. The market's starting to realize that he's going to do this. It's going to cut into their margins. The questions on the earnings call on January 25th will be 100% around what are you doing with Twitter? What are you doing with autopilot? It probably will not be on the $20,000. It probably will not be on the margins. He's going to bring that up, and the stock price will absolutely be affected by it. But I don't think he's going to have to talk much about it. And one of the reasons why I don't think that, and again, a lot could change between now and the 25th, now and next week. But what we saw over the weekend was the inventory of Tesla cars over the weekend were cut in half. So his process of cutting $20,000 off the most popular cars, it worked. His inventories were cut in half. Remember, he put up Texas. So Texas is producing the Model Y now. He put up Berlin. Berlin's putting up the Model Y right now. And he's still got Fremont running on all cylinders and China running on all cylinders. And he's expanding Texas. So essentially, he had more production than he had needs. So what did he do? He went out and sold a bunch of cars. They don't want a bunch of cars sitting around. It's not the Ford model. It's not the GM model where they'll just ship them off to dealers and dealers have to deal with the cars sitting on their lots. And then Ford has to give money back. It's not like that. Tesla doesn't have dealerships. Tesla has sales centers, but you order them online. Even if you go in there and you test drive it, you go and order it online. So it's an interesting kind of thing. And again, I think this is going to be studied. My personal car, by the way, this is how his $20,000 cut in the price of Model 3 and Model Y has affected me personally. My car in October, I went to look at buying a Model Y. And so I went to Tesla's website or their app, and I said, hey, let me look at what I could get Tesla to pay me for my car. And I went on, and it was about $45,000. I think I was getting 48 from Carvana or CarMax or one of the other ones where you do it online as well. It was between 45 and 48,000. Now, I have a 2018 Model 3. Has about 40,000 miles on it, 40 to 50,000 miles on it. Has full self-driving, the upgrade. It's a dual motor, all-wheel drive, 19-inch wheels. So it's nothing crazy. But that $45,000 this weekend, Tesla is offering me $24,000 for that same car. And that's 4 months, and your car is halved in value. He's doing a lot for that brand. Now, I still think it's going down. Let's look at this chart. Let's move this chart from a 4-hour to let's go daily, because I think daily does bring you back. It might be weekly, though. Because we were getting last time, see that gap right here? And I can't go back to where it is, but it's between 82 and 83. You've put in a volume shelf right here. Let's bring back this volume shelf. We'll bring it back as far as we can. It goes back to February 4th. You're seeing the volume shelf build right there, but there's still a whole bunch of people holding up here at 214. At 214, once you get past this 128, 129, it could pull you all the way up here to 180, 170, 180. So I don't want to say, hey, don't buy this one, because I do think you get into this one at some point in time. I may get back in. I'm probably looking at holding on through the earnings, or waiting until after the earnings. He's going to say something during these earnings, and it's either going to tank the stock or it's going to increase the stock. One or the other. It's up 5% right today. So it's crazy, but I did want to start the show with that one. If you do your own research. Go to Carvana, go to CarMax, look at Tesla used car prices. They're cut in half right now. And it's because he's willing to sell the new inventory at bargain basement prices, and you get $7,500 back. So again, it's a business case study. I think he's turning this company around. I can guarantee you, if he announces a CEO of Twitter, this stock will double. I'm sorry, not double. It'll go up by 20%. God, double. Ooh, what am I saying? Yeah. So, yeah. Wow, they're telling me to look at Mara. I'm live on YouTube while I'm recording this, so I'm trying to do that one. Mara is up at 861. If you guys were following me in the private Facebook group, I announced on Friday that I was not holding Bed Bath & Beyond or Mara through the weekend. Mara wound up hurting me. Bed Bath & Beyond wound up being a huge, huge benefit to me in selling off. So let's take a look at some of the earnings this week. And this is what I want to start with because there are several companies that are announcing earnings. And my weekly stock pick has identified that these stocks could pump. And go and look at my Twitter. Let's pull up my Twitter to see. I posted this. He's got a great chart with the performance of each one of these. And I'm just pulling this up so you can see it. But he's got a great chart with each one of these. Oh, and there's the terrifying things. By the way, Jim Cramer sees bullish signs starting to emerge in the stock market. That's the fucking death cross right there. If you ever heard of a death cross, that's it. I mean, that's just, God, ugly. Here's what it is. Oh, weekly S&P performance? No, let's just go to my weekly stock picks. I know he's got it up there. Maybe I just didn't retweet it. Here's what it is. Procter & Gamble, watch list. Procter & Gamble, earnings per share, 92% beat. Morgan Stanley, 83% beat. They actually reported, I think they were slightly down, if not slightly up, but they've been running. Goldman Sachs reported they're down 4 or 5%. I still like Goldman Sachs. I just like it at a cheaper price. I don't think it's there. Netflix reports and Schwab reports. So I wanted to take a look at these companies. Now, Procter & Gamble is in a ascending triangle, and that's automatically put on there from TrendSpider. It is trading at 151. The algorithm doesn't have you in, and it's in a downward kind of movement here. But if you can see that on the screen, and if you have TrendSpider, just pull up Procter & Gamble in the algorithm. But you can see that there's a cup kind of forming in this MACD, and it's going to cross up. And their earnings are coming up. I think it's today after the bell, January 18th, tomorrow, pre-market. Tomorrow, pre-market, Procter & Gamble. I like it here. I would have liked you to buy it at 124 rather than 154. I do think that there's a floor here at the 200-day at 140, but you've got to go through so many of these volume levels to get down there. I just see that, the 146, then 142. I think if you can get this with a 1.4 handle, I think you'd be doing well in the long term. It is a fairly expensive stock when you look at it historically. The PE is at 26, should be around 17, but they're doing really, really well. Performance year to date, they're down 0.45. You're buying it here at 150, just 8% below its 52-week high. But I think they manage things well. Again, Procter & Gamble is just a great company. Morgan Stanley reported, so you don't have the benefit of the pop, but they did kind of gap up here. They're at 97. They closed at 91. So Morgan Stanley, let me look at it real quick in Active Trader Pro just to see. Morgan Stanley, they must have said something during their earnings because it's up 6%. 6% Morgan Stanley is at 97. Your boy here bought it at 10. What's the 52 week? Because I bought it at its 52 week. I timed it really bad. Small position, never went back in. Should have been adding to it, haven't. Performance year to date, you're up 7%. Its 52 week high is 109. That's where your boy got in. Your boy just didn't play this one right at all. Schwab, I think they come up later this week, if I'm not mistaken. SCHW is the symbol. The algorithm has you in at 79, but you see that button hook there at 85. They are reporting, is it after the bell? Pre-market. They must have already reported. So they're not doing anything. Morgan Stanley's the big mover of the day. Netflix comes up. Let me look at Goldman Sachs before I look at Netflix, because Goldman Sachs is the last one we have to look at. Goldman Sachs, I've told you to buy back here in October under 300 at 298. All you're doing with Goldman Sachs is probably coming down to the 90-day at 353. The 200-day is up at 341. I think 341 puts in your floor here. You can see there's clear support at that 200-day. If you get the chance to buy this at 350 and you want to get into Goldman Sachs, I think anything with that 3.5 handle is good. It's coming back now. The current candle, the low is 358, the high is 366. So you're right there at 359. It probably just doesn't have. Again, it's just coming off of a swing, but this is a good one to trade. Netflix I like, and I've done more of the Nike workouts this weekend, and I went over it with some of the folks on YouTube Live. But if you just go to Netflix and search Nike, you can find they have a ton of workout programs up there, and they're great. They're really good workout programs. The 2 weeks to a better core, great workout, and it's not hard. It's super simple. Doesn't get your heart rate super high. If you want, that sign up for Peloton. I mean, Peloton has great workouts. You don't need the bike. Just go to YouTube and look up Peloton hack. That's what I did. I bought a $200 bike off of Amazon, and I paid $12 a month for the Peloton app, and I liked it. I hated Apple Fitness. Didn't like Apple Fitness. But Netflix has this button hook kind of going on up here. It's expensive. The algorithm got you in at 290. I'd have rather seen you buy it under 200. I kind of was touting this one. Anything under 200, you should buy it. Did your boy buy it? Your boy did not buy it. Your boy small boyed this one and said, I'm too afraid. But you're seeing that button hook right before earnings. Earnings are January 19th, and I think this one's after the bell, post-market. So it's Wednesday after the bell. I'd like to see you in here under 300. And I don't know that you're going to have the opportunity because I don't know what they're going to say. If they come out, I was reading last night, the ad tier does not work on Apple TV. Your boy here is in Apple TV. The ecosystem is throughout my house. I don't have a way of getting the ad-supported tier. So I'd have to go with Chromecast or a secondary streaming device. So I'm kind of stuck. I don't mind it. But I'd rather see you under 300 in this one. And I do think at some point in time, with a recession, if a recession looms, if we get another rate hike, I think this one comes down to 300. Now, mind you, I also think that this gap back here, I've said this before, this gap to 350, 347 is right where it's at. I think you fill that one. And I think you fill it on this current run. So, but it's not worth it to buy it at 320 and just think that, okay, 340 is going to happen. Because they could say something on it's just the risk reward benefit is not there. I wanted to take a look at I haven't taken a look at this one, but Macy's. Remember when I said it dipped under 20? I said you should get it. Your boy didn't get it, but I should have because it's at 23 right now. Oof. Should have bought that one. Some commodities. FCX, Freeport McMoran. This one's up at 44. The algorithm had you buying in just before at 38.85. And that was on January 4th. So you're 13 days in? And you're up 10%, 15%, somewhere in that neighborhood. Oof. Yeah. Cleveland Cliffs, another. Remember what these guys said? These guys said, hey, we're going to be able to reduce our costs and charge more. And boom, it took off. 16.18 was on December 22nd was the buy-in. You're at 21.23. I do not want to see you buy into this one. The RSI is at 77. The MACD is just too high. There's better places to put your money. Costco is almost up at 500. Costco at 489. Their earnings are coming up in March 2nd. So they're way past. I think you get these gaps here down here filled if we get into a recession or something happens. Now, the problem is if they announce between now and March a membership increase, you're going to see this one explode up to 550 again. So I do think that that's a huge one. I posted an article about 4 REITs that are trading under their book value. And these are big REITs. And these are pretty good charts right now, too. Medical Properties Trust had a buy-in on December 23rd at $11.10. Their earnings come out February 1st. Now, if we look at MPW, M is in medical properties here. The book value is $14.74 a share. Your dividend is 9.04%. You're 45% below your 52-week high. You're 31% above your 52-week low, which is only $9.90. So this one, with their earnings coming out, it's been on a current run. If you would have gotten in here at 11, I'd like to see you get in at 11. You just crossed the 200-day. So it's probably going to wind up below that 200-day again at 12. I don't want to see you buy this one. The catalyst are the earnings. But if for some reason they announce that they've got an increase in some type of leasing or something like that, you could see this one pop up. SACH, Sachem Capital Corp. This is one that, again, is crossing the 200-day. The algorithm had you in here at 342 on January 6th. If we look, SACH, the book value is $5.65 a share. This one's paying a 13.87% dividend. You're 40% below your 52-week high. You're 19% above your 52-week low. Year to date, 13% increase. Big move in these ones. People are moving towards dividends. SAFE, SAFE. This one is Safe Hold Company. And go to the article if you want more details on this. It's just crossing the 200-day. The algorithm has you in at 30. Their earnings are coming up February 13th. It is kind of high on the chart perspective, from a MACD perspective, from a RSI perspective. This is at 2.16%. Its book value is 34, and it's trading just below that at 33. Let's look at Starwood. You guys know Starwood. This is Starwood Property. I think they own some type of hotel chain. I think it's Hilton or something. Or they have Hilton in their thing. 1887 on January 4th. All of these had January 4th cross-ups. 1887, and boy, it's run up. It's at 2031. Hasn't crossed the 200-day, but if it does cross the 200-day, which is at $20.60, it should cover this gap at 21. STWD, let's look at the dividend and book value. The dividend is 9.53. The book value is 2102. P is 7. Year to date, it's up 9%. Performance over 1 year down 20%. So if you believe in travel, I think Starwood would be your best bet, because, again, I think from a chart perspective, I think you have upside movement on this one. And medical properties, I think, has the biggest upside potential with a good dividend. So between those 4, go and read that article that I posted on Twitter. We talked about Mara, and we talked about Mara being up at, let me see where it's trading at right now. Mara is trading at $8.16. It's down, it seems, from its recent high, which was 840 something. So the day's range is between 811 and 873. So it's down slightly. I sold this, I think, in the mid 8s somewhere. No, probably mid 7s. So I'm down from where, I bought it. But I can always get back in. Not a problem. Bed Bath & Beyond, we went over this one. You want to trade this one and trade with momentum. I don't think that this one, right now at $3.98, it does seem to have momentum on the 5-minute chart. So if you want to get into that one, trade that one. CVNA, I went over all of these last week with the short squeeze. CVNA probably has momentum. Let me wait. Yeah, it's above its 9-day. It's within the Bollinger Bands at $7.08. It's got its volume kind of popping up. So trade them a little bit carefully. One that I want to toot my own horn on and yell at myself for not actually buying is Roblox, RBLX. This one's popped up. It's going to have a gap here on this candle. It's above its 200-day. It is up 10%. It was up 15% in pre-market. This was trading at around $38 pre-market. They had to do something. Let me see what happened with this one. Or it might just be that a lot of people wanted to get in. Upbeat bookings update. Users. You can read the stock thing. But I'm kicking myself not for getting in. The algorithm had you December 29th, $26.61. I told you there was a gap up here that should be filled. It got filled all the way to 32. I would say since you're above the 200-day, take your profits if you're in this one. Trade it. So watch it. But it's on its way down, probably coming back down to its 200-day of 35. That would be my guess. Oil is up. And natural gas is up. So let me look at Boyle. I don't know what the current board says. Boyle is up 7%, 8% at $11.50. Boyle still does not have confirmation on a 4-hour chart. Just telling you, KOLD still has that confirmation. I have gone over this enough times that you guys, if you haven't looked at the charts by now, hit me up. I'll go over the charts again for you. But I think those are pretty much done. Now, let's go over some user requests. The degenerates on YouTube who sit there and listen to me all morning have requested about 15 stocks, so I'll go over them all. CF Industries, which is a fertilizer company. The algorithm has you buy in here at $83.90. You're trading at $86.94. Their earnings are coming up on February 14th. Your RSI is in no man's land. It's 52. Your MACD is kind of low. I don't know that you're going to get hurt by buying it here because I do think that you come at least sometime this year. You come up to that 200-day. I think we have a pretty good dividend if I remember on this one. 1.84. Your PE is 5. It's not crazy. Year to date, you're up 2%. 1 year, you're up 28%. Your 52-week high is 119. That's up 26%. You're below that. Your 52-week low is 63. So I don't think CF is crazy. I think it's a fertilizer company. I think with some of the Ukraine stuff, I think you're fine. But the difference between 83 and 86 on this one, not huge. Because I do think that at some point in time this year, you come up to this 200-day at 100. It's a well-run company. I don't see anything wrong with that one. UAN, I know nothing about these guys. CVR Partners. Chart doesn't look... I mean, it had the death cross back here in December, and it's got you in at 99, but it's trading at 105. The RSI is up at 57, so it's in no man's land. The MACD is kind of crossing the oscillator. So let me see what UAN is. Basic Materials Agriculture. They got a 21% dividend. I mean, crazy 21% dividend. Where is their ex-dividend date? It doesn't even tell me. They just passed their ex-dividend date in November. So you're probably looking out to March. You're looking at this one. The pop on this one will come with earnings February 17th. That's probably the next catalyst on this. Your PE is 4.39. Goldman just downgraded it yesterday. Buy to neutral. They pushed it down to $3 price target. Am I on the right one? UAN. Yeah, that's crazy. how did their price target go from $5 to $3? November, that's January 16th, 2020. That's why. 3 years ago. So imagine if you had bought this one at 3 years ago at $3. I mean, let's go back and look at a monthly chart. 3 years ago. Yeah. I don't know where they were getting. Oh, January 2020. You just had a crash. You were still at $21. I don't know. It's crazy. But UAN, that's one. Again, from an algorithm standpoint, I think you could get into this one and still be okay because I think you come up to this 200-day at 119, which is a good, 15%. And if you do have that 20% dividend, I mean, why not hold on to it for that? NEM, Newmont, I think this is a mining corporation. You're above the 200-day. You just had your golden cross here in December, right before the ex-dividend date. You got a couple gaps down below you. The RSI is at 61. It's going down. The MACD is about to cross down. You had a buy-in here at 47. I don't know that short term, I don't know that I'd get into this one right now, but let's see what the dividend is. The dividend is 4%. PE is 44. I don't know why you'd get into this one. No idea. From a chart standpoint, no idea why. NTR, again, if you know something about the company, I'm just doing chart perspective, but if you know something about the company, then, get into it. NTR, which is Nutrien, which is another fertilizer company. This one is below its 200-day, and it's clear that it's using its 200-day as a resistance level. 76 is where it's trading at right now. Your 200 days at 81. In my mind, that's the best you're going to do, 81. So you just passed your ex-dividend date. Your earnings aren't coming up until February 15th. NTR, let's look at NTR. NTR, 3% dividend. You're 34% below your 52-week high. You're 13% above your 52-week low. It's got PE of 4. Year-to-date, it's up 2%. Performance for 1 year, it's up 3%. But it is a sliding stock. I mean, look at this one. 101 all the way down to 70. You got multiple bottoms down here. It's probably going to hit that bottom again. So I'd probably wait until this one gets down below 70 if you like it. But I don't see anything positive in NTR at all. BMO, Bank of Montreal. This is why you wanted to know about some Canadian stocks. Banks have been doing really, really well. This is a bank that just crossed its 200-day. The 200-day is right down here at 93. It's at $98. From this one, I would say, okay, you're covering this gap back here. Well, you kind of covered that one. Its RSI is 74. There's no reason to get into this right now. There's so many more better stocks, out there than Bank of Montreal. So many better. I mean, just look at Bank of America. I mean, if you want to talk about, taxes and holding a Canadian stock, I mean, just look at Bank of America. You're right here at your 200-day at 34. Now, your RSI is high. It's at 59. Your MACD's crossing. You had your earnings. I mean, look at the pop right there. But I do think you have the opportunity to go to 40 on Bank of America in a good market. Morgan Stanley, they're up huge today, just based on earnings. Goldman Sachs is at 355. They're coming down. And Goldman Sachs, I think if you get it with the 3-4 handle, you're better off than Bank of Montreal. Morgan Stanley, huge gap up here. I mean, the algorithm has you at 85. I wouldn't buy this one right now. But my point is, I think Bank of Montreal had its run. So I don't think that there's anything to get into there. Toronto Dominion Bank, probably same thing. Yeah, not super exciting. The algorithm has you buy in at 65.73. Just so you know, the algorithm makes you 10% on this. Buying and holding the asset makes you 11%. You win 44% of the time. 25 positions. You win 10 times. Your max average win is 5%. There's nothing hugely exciting about this. Nothing exciting. BN. Let's look at BN. Brookfield Corporation. This one just crossed its 200-day on the algorithm. It's kind of in an upward trend, but the RSI is at 71. I don't know why you'd buy into this one right now. It's a 1.5% dividend year to date. I mean, you're only 17 days in, you're up 13%. Double bottom right here at 31. That was clear that 31 was probably the buy. I think if you trend line this one out, the tops that you're looking at is probably 36. No reason to necessarily get in at 35. I think you're going to see more downturn on this one. You can see this, the price is going up, but the volume's coming down. So at some point, this one has to come down. That volume is too strong on the downward trend right now while the stock's going up. I don't understand why it's going up, but the volume's coming down. Volume will win at some point. So BN. Now we have Carnival Cruises. Carnival is one that I've never liked. And the reason I haven't liked it is because of COVID. There are still people who will not go on a cruise because of COVID, but that is not a reason not to buy this stock and not to believe in this stock, because there are far more people who want to go on cruises than people who are staying off because of COVID right now. The reason I don't like this because of COVID is they took out so much debt, and that debt is going to come and bite them in the butt. They did several capital offerings. So if you're looking at this one and saying, let's take a look at a weekly on this one, and you're saying, hey, they were during pre-COVID, they were a $40 stock and they're trading at 10. Well, yeah, they took out so much debt that 10, their PE ratio is still, they're not making money. Their forward PE is 11. When they start turning profitable, I think you're going to see it move up. Now, what I can't argue with is that they're up 30% year to date, 17 days in the month, and they're up 30%. You're 75% above your 52-week low of $6. You're 55% below your 52-week high of 23. But you can see their earnings per share next year is expected to grow substantially. I think they're going to bring this down. Let's look at the algorithm, because I think they have earnings coming up, or they've already passed it. They just passed it. They announced 85 cents per loss. And you've seen it go down, and right at January 1st, $7.96. You're covering the gap here. And the gap is up to 1094. Do you buy it at 1080 thinking that you cover the gap at 1080? Probably not. I think you're going to come to this, if there's a short of CCL, I'd probably play the short, because I think you'll come back down to $9 before you go to $12. There's just nothing bringing it up to 12. Your RSI is at 82, and I'm sorry to tell you, you missed the run. I think it's coming down below this 200-day. If we look at Norwegian Cruise Line, which is Norwegian Cruise. What's Norwegian? And let me look up Norwegian Cruise stock, NCLH. That's what it was. My ADD, my Alzheimer's, all this stuff, it's all kicking in. NCLH. Look at this one. You got a gap up here, 1702 to 1752. Your RSI is again at 79. Do I think it's going to run to fill this gap? It very well could. And at $12, when you saw this turn, hindsight is 2020. I'd tell you to buy in at that 12 and you'd be up 20%. You crossed your 200-day. It is clear every time it crosses that 200-day, it just comes back down to the 200-day. So I'd rather see you, if it doesn't cover that gap, buy at 14. And then at some point, it gets up to this 17 to cover that gap. So that's kind of my taking on CCL. There's a lot of people asking me questions on YouTube, but I will get to you guys after I finish the podcast. So you guys who are listening to the podcast, we're 40 minutes in. We're about 2 hours in on the YouTube live. But the only one that I thought that was worthwhile bringing up on a scan scan was ATAI. This is a biopharma company, and I usually don't like bringing up biopharma companies, but this one was interesting because ATAI, if we go to FinViz and we look this one up, make no mistake, they are not making money. This is an ARK fund find. Year to date, you're only 17 days in, you're down 32%. But remember, I always say any reaction in the market is an overreaction. Your 52-week range is between 145 and 632. Excuse me. Your 52-week low is 145. You're 30% above that. You're 70% below your 52-week high. Now, if you look at this chart, there's an interesting gap here. And the gap came about on January 5th. And you can see the huge spike in volume here. But the gap came about when they announced, and you can read about it here in the top one, Trippy Trading, Psychedelic Stocks for 2023. And if you go down and you look, it is the ATAI. There's a quote, 2023 could be a make or break year for the company. So there's you see that article, you see the RSI at 36, you see it crossing up at $180. It's trading at 186 right now. It does not have a lot of volume. So be very careful with this one. It does not have a lot of volume. So if you do go in with a fairly large trade, selling and buying might be a little bit hard. But that chart tells me that there could be a possibility you go back and you fill this gap to 260. Now, could you fill it up to 220, 218, 230? Yeah. I mean, again, you want to take your 10%. You want to take your profits whenever you can. Trade this one. I just thought it was interesting because, I trust ARK research. And I think that, you can look into any one of these ARK. Just go to a website where they track all the ARK trades and see if they're adding to ATAI. If they're adding to ATAI, I'd add it because they know a hell of a lot about pharmaceuticals, way more than I know. So I'd add to it. So, and Tesla is up at almost crossing 130, by the way. So I think that the only scan that I had was ATAI. Everything else, I don't think. This week, again, earnings. An interesting earnings play is Netflix. I think that one's Procter & Gamble, I think, is an interesting earnings play. And I think Tesla, I think you could, once you have the confirmation on this one, we do. When you look at the Tesla chart, even on the algorithm, we have the confirmation up. And you're seeing it above the 9-day, right? The 9-day and the 21-day. You're trading at the top of the Bollinger Bands. It's kind of touching the 50-day. When it gets above that 50-day, that would be the first time since October that it got above the 50-day. So I think that might be a fairly good turnaround for this stock. But I do think long-term it's going to 85. So I would be rather careful with the trade on Tesla. But I say it's a business case study. This will be studied whether it be good or bad. I don't know the outcome. But it's such a bold business move. It really is. And such a smart business move in my mind. It hurts me in the pocket because it does take $20,000 out of the worth of my car. But I can't argue with the logic in it. And it'll be interesting. January 25th, when the earnings come up, it'll be interesting to hear the logic behind the decision. And I think they had this all planned out. I think they planned it out last year. I think they knew exactly what they were doing. So, I think his confidence will shine through on that one. If you have any questions, follow me on all the socials. Look at the link tree down below, and you can follow me on YouTube. If you're looking at the charts on YouTube, great. Again, if you want to sign up for TrendSpider, DSP 25 is the discount, gets you 25% off. And I think you can sign up monthly for that 25% off. It's great. If you want to use it, I'll give you my algorithm. I'll give you my proprietary scan that I use every morning to go through stocks. It's a great tool. If you're making very few trades, do not sign up for TrendSpider. if you're actually doing trading, it's just another tool in your arsenal, and it's so good. And I think most people who have signed up, go and ask in the Facebook group. I'm thinking of signing up for TrendSpider. Is it worth it? I think you'll get some really good answers back, and some insights. Maybe some people don't like it. Like I suggest Fidelity to everybody, and one listener said, Barb, she said, hey, I didn't like Fidelity. It just was not good. They didn't treat me well. So sometimes it's not for everybody. But I do say, it's another tool in your arsenal. I can't trade without it. If you have any questions, hit me up on the socials. Thanks, you guys, for listening. Take care. Okay. Export song to disk. Boom. Now I got to go back and look at your chats. James in Cleveland Cliffs. I like that one. I like China stocks, Steven, if you're still here. I think it's a good gamble. I personally sold out for a fairly big $30,000, $40,000 loss in BABA in December. And I got my ass handed to me, but it was for tax purposes. Oh, God. The Rock is promoting his new company on CNBC. My brother was a producer for the WWF during the years that The Rock was huge. Very nice guy. Super nice guy. All sales. He's very much about the brand. But would take the shirt off his back to help somebody in need, too. But he's all about the brand. James, and I have to restart Active Trader Pro. Yes. Why not save it? Okay. Let me see if I get force quit. Okay, I'm not opened up there. We're going to open it back up. I'm going to quit GarageBand. Oh, it's not done. I'm going to look at Beth Beyond. I think Bed Beyond, again, I think it's a trade. I think it's a great trade. I made money on it. And I did not optimize the trade. So, quit GarageBand, save. Let me open up Active Trader Pro. And I got money in my money. I got money in my Webull account. Bro. Okay. Of the 30 people in here, anybody unhappy with their TrendSpider purchase? Anybody think it's not worth it? My goal is to make you think that it's as good a tool as I think that it is. I don't like if I'm trading Bed Bath & Beyond, I'm not using TrendSpider. I don't like it for that purpose. I like Active Trader Pro for that purpose. Wow, Bed Bath & Beyond up at 435. It is taking. Oh, look at that 5-minute chart. Look at the volume pump. Did I call it or what? Wow. Amazon's pulling back, by the way. Day trading Gary is using curse words constantly. I think I might get back in at 4.30. $4.30, not 4.30 in the afternoon. Mara, on the other hand, I think that one's going back to $8. I love that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is here promoting something, and all they want to talk to him about is WWE, and then they show him with the eyebrow. CLXT. What the hell is CLXT? Oh, I got to move it to Active Trader Pro. CLXT is up 118%. But it ain't moving from here. What the hell is this one? They're a consumer defensive packaging goods. Oh, it's a merger agreement. That's why. So let's see what the price is. Too much for me to read. But here, this is, I'm going back to this China stocks. I sold, I think, right about here. About 89, and it's up at 114 right now. By the way, I'm getting my ass handed to me on UNH. Should have sold during this candle. But if you want to get in at price I got in, it's close down there. Jackson Trend Spider's cool. And yeah, Paoletti. I like AT. You know, ATAI, I wouldn't put $50,000 into it. I wouldn't put like $10,000. I wouldn't even put $1,000 into it. But ATAI is an interesting one. Let's see what the... Let's see. It's a microcap, so realize the 10-day volume is 2 million. The 90-day volume is 1 million. So you do have volume kind of on your side. They're losing money. They're not making money. The 52-week low is 145, so you're still buying well above the 52-week low. If I were putting my money on it, I'd probably put money to buy it at between 175 and 180. Hey, Alex. Active Trader Pro is strictly Fidelity. Doesn't E-Trade have something? I mean, I know TD Ameritrade, and I'll tell you, Zephin, I don't use Active Trader Pro to push the buy button often. When I was day trading, I had hotkeys set up so I could hit, I think it was the B button for buy and the S button for sell. And I was buying and selling at market price because it was during the pandemic and you had just these big moves in stocks. And so I could get into the order window of each and hit B and S. And yeah, Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim is great too. It's good. I like it. Yeah, Mike's right, man. There's 27 people in here and only 2 likes. Hold on. Let's go to YouTube. Because I promised you guys I would make fun of YouTubers too. 27 people watching. I gotta bring down the volume so I don't hear myself. There's 12 likes. There's not 27, but there's 12. Yeah. I think I'm in 1080p. Yeah, I'm in 1080p. I wanted to try and do 4K, but I don't think I think 4K is just, it's not going to let me do 4K. I'm on a, didn't I hit the thumbs up? There. I hit the thumb. By the way, here's the instruction. Hit the thumbs up button. Bro, hold on. I got to get my vape. Let's go to live. I got to do more. I was watching this thing on shorts. And how to do YouTube shorts. Here's the bro guy with the vape. And he's got 1.3 people watching. What? Wait. 876 shirtless bro. Bro. Jason Casper. He's got 85,000 subscribers.
Watch what she does, okay? We're going to actually put this to a little bit slower here. 0.5%. Watch her. Boom. She dips her beak into the water. Boom. She pulls it out. Watch. Lap. Okay? A chicken's drinking water is when price does the same exact thing as what this chicken just did.
What?
When we see, for example, that we have a level like we do right here. This is the water. This red line is the water. The price is the chicken's beak. Okay? And this level right here is the previous high, right? The previous high establishes the water line. The chicken will shove her beak up and then boom, pull it out, lap. And that is a chicken's drinking water. Okay? And when we see on Market Cipher B bearish dimensions like this, it means it's probably going to be a fake out, okay? That is a chicken's drinking water.
What?
Hope that makes sense.
Okay, first off, never trust a guy who's showing his tats with a it's the middle of fucking winter. I don't know where he's at. Second, he's using wired headphones with a microphone. He's got his music pumping. Sign up with MEXC for, I got to get this thing, 0% limit fees plus 33% off. What am I signing up for? He's got a trading bot. Oh, he's trading crypto. Dude, there's so many people. Oh my God. You know what? Bro. Oh, I'm not even on. This is the dude. I had you guys on Active Trader Pro. Yeah, he was watching. Joe, I need to rewind this back. Hold on. I need to rewind this back to show you what he was doing. Here. Okay, here's what he was doing. So this is...
What she's going to do, this red hen right here, is she's going to dip...
He's talking about chickens.
Real quick.
He's talking about chickens.
Out, and she's going to look up and go,
He's talking about chickens.
she's going to dip it in, pull it out,
Watch.
What she does, okay? We're going to actually put this to a little bit slower.
He's teaching people how to trade. Bro, I'm going to slow it down. Watch. No, watch this.
Boom.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Boom. She pulls it out. Watch. Lap, 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 lap. Okay?
Yeah.
A chicken's drinking water.
How does this guy have 85,000 subscribers?
Exact thing is what this chicken just did. Okay? When we see, for example,
What?
that we have a level like we do right here. This is the water. This red line
Now-
is the water. The price is the chicken's beak. Okay? And this level right here is the previous high, right? The previous high establishes the water line. The chicken will shove her beak up and then boom, pull it out, lap, 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 lap. And that is a chicken's drinking water. Okay?
No.
And when we see on Market Cipher B, bearish divergences like this, it means it's probably going to be a fake out, okay? That is a chicken's drinking water, right there.
He's so simplifying it. There are so many other things that go into the fake outs. Oh my God. So what did I do? Watch this. Dislike. Yeah. But he's got 1,000 people in there watching. You know what I need to do? I need to take my shirt off and show my tats. I don't have any, but yeah. Florida shooting at Martin Luther King Day. How's this live? There's no way that's live. Intraday trading with Sagar. Oh, we watched this guy's before. What is going on here? Oh, there's a blog girl. She got as many people watching as I do. We got to go here. We got to see what's going on here. She's got way more subscribers than I do. I don't know. I'll give her a plus. I don't know what she's talking about, but I'll give her a plus. We won't subscribe because I don't speak that language, but I'll give her a plus. She's trying. Live channel checking and free promotion. What? What's this dude doing? Let's see what's going here. Whoa. We gotta hit that one. No, we're not doing that one. Talk like Madden. Bro, shirtless Gary. Bro. GPU alerts. I guess this guy's live Forex trading, scalping 1 minute gold. Let's see. I like some of the production value. I will tell you that. Private VIP community members room. Remember, I don't charge you for my private VIP room.
Subscribe, guys. This play of action that is literally happening for everybody that is tapped into my streams right now. I literally had said earlier, if you were in my streams, do not buy. Do not buy. Do not buy. Do not buy. This is all about to be a fake out. because we got to take these lows out. Why do we have to take these lows out? Because it is liquidity whack off right now in play of action.
What?
Right here. This is the lows. This is what I'm looking for to come to. So that's where we at right now. That's where I'm at right now. Like,
He's playing options.
no.
Because you can't make money trading the NASDAQ
Waiting because it's about to fade.
on a 1 minute chart.
So
Yeah, bottle service. Get your bottle service here. This is what's crazy to me.
Okay, what do you see with GJ? Everything's dropping right now, so it's kind of like I'm just waiting for stuff to happen.
I should jump in here and ask about, do you have a vape, bro? He's got 907 people watching, though. Again, it shocks me that there are people actually in there looking at this stuff rather than just, and not that I'm not one of these people who's ATAI, by the way. Let's go back. See, it's dropping. It's got no confirmation. ATAI, I would probably wait for the 175. I think this low right here that you see, 170, it got to 176, got to 175.5 today. But I think that's a good, see that volume right there? That's where I think the middle range is between 175 and 176. I don't think you're going to sustain this breakout. But it went all the way to 194 today. So make no mistake, you get in at 175 and you get another spike to 194. That's good money. Bed Bath & Beyond. Glad I didn't get in at 430. Went all the way up to 444. I got to go to Anchor. I'm going to upload the podcast now. By the way, I did upload a new fire, and I wasn't super happy with it. But I do like the outline. I need to do a summary. Because the first episode is really, hey, find your fire number. The second episode is, hey, limit your expenses. And how do you find out your expenses and kind of go on that path. The third is, how do you increase your income? So, not that I am a genius at increasing your income, but there's so many ways to get more money in this world. I think I used mineral still before. Nightlight. I like the Zeppelin. Why not? We'll do that one. I've never used this one before. Processing. Yeah, so essentially VRO. Let me look at my notes real quick. Episode 3. How do you increase your income? real estate. I went over, there's a couple of ways you can do real estate. There's actually, I didn't go over, but real estate in particular, you can buy a house, rental property, and become a landlord. There are significant tax benefits to actually buying a property. I would not buy a property to renovate and flip because 60% of the people wind up losing money on stuff like that. But if you buy a property and you rent it and you hold on to it for a while, you can do that. There's also real estate buy-ins. I tweeted out to, let me go back. I'll show you Safari View. If we go to my profile, I have to find out what the weekly stock picks guy is doing too, because I'm going to trade on his today. But here, right here, a 2023 update on my passive real estate investment returns from Physician on Fire. Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, and I just don't do it. I freestyle it. But fantastic real estate investments. And it basically gets you into partnerships. Second one I said was buy a business. And I brought up this website that I go to a bunch, which is bizbuysell.com. And I go over that. Third one is Danny J from YouTube, who I really like. She goes over how to become a tutor, how to do online kind of digital nomad stuff. The fourth thing that I bring up is the obvious Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, any of those sort, or any type of gig work that you can do. So I just kind of bring stuff like that into the third one. And again, I kind of go over shit. Decreasing your expenses is 100 times easier than increasing your income. It takes a hell of a lot less work and a hell of a lot less comfort level to decrease your expenses than it does to increase your income. Increasing your income is super, super hard. Okay. Netflix. Update. VRO, man. McDonald's, they're phenomenal. Depending on which franchise, I think, franchise owner you work for. But typically, their managers do super, super well. And shit, if you can get into somebody that owns a franchise and understand that franchise model, man, freaking just legend. Why am I doing that? I always seem to decrease the... I'm not good at typing. I'm going to go to... Bed Bath & Beyond is tanking, but that $4 seems to be a fairly decent support level for some reason. And I don't know why. I mean, the volume is up here at $4.50. That's the crazy part. You know what? Restaurant business as a whole, VRO, is not a good business to be in, but worker-wise, it's not horrible. I'm going to put sponsored by State Farm again. see. I got a bunch of texts, man. I gotta go check my texts. Where's my link tree? No, where's my Visible service? I'm basically saying I'm sponsored by Visible. I'll look at that one, Gerald. I'll look at the chart. Referrals. Copy. Let's see. We're going to... And I'm going to put in a link. Tesla. Yeah, and I mean, for you, exclusive for the YouTube folks here. So you can use my link in the socials for Visible. It's down below in the link tree. You can use that link, but honest to God, let me get through this. They have a $15 a month special. You can't use my code for it. It's basically you just go to visible.com. $15 a month for a year. It's crazy. And I'll you know what I'll do? Hold on. While I am doing this, let me go to Stetson's page. Dotson. Doggett. Visible. Because he's got crazy... Here it is. I'm going to pin this video.
Visible just like...
Share. Copy. I'm going to pin this. It is crazy. $15 a month. And he goes over all of the details of it. And if you're not subscribed to his channel, absolutely 100% subscribe. He is just an unbelievable, if you're looking at mobile phone plans or anything, he's just got the greatest content out there. And then show notes. Where's my podcast? There we are. I gotta scroll down to the bottom. By the way, I think TSM is... Okay, let's see. We've got publish now. Boom. And then I've got to go to Twitter. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. The dogs. It's a rainy, dismal day here in Atlanta. Okay, and we're going to X. Tweet. And then we're going to do another Twitter. And boom, 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 boom. I'm going to plug this in. BMO, TD, BN, CCL, ATAI. And then I'm going to go over here and we're going to do TQQQ, SQQQ, SPY, QQQ. We're going to do DCFC. I can't believe some of these. CYAD. SOXL, SOXS, Mara, Amazon, Apple, Neo, Ford, Nvidia, Bank of America. I think I went over Apron, LabU. Put in AMD, SoFi. I need 3 taken out. That's easy to get. Boom. Tweet. We'll get listeners that way. Okay. Let's go back here. This is Stetson's channel. Yeah. I'm on the $25 a month plan. So essentially Visible has this see, he sells all this stuff too. It's such a good deal. It really is. Okay, what else do I have to do? I told you guys I would look at some. Let me go back to MGAM. Let's look at MGAM. Mobile gaming esport. That's a hockey stick if I ever saw one. Gerald, I can't recommend this one. I don't think that you're wrong. It's just there's no money in this. Year to date, though, it's up 52%. There's no monkey recommendations. There are no... Yeah, it's about to be unlisted. They received a receipt of NASDAQ notification letter. So they're about to get delisted. Let's go back to Active Trader Pro. But that sometimes means that people just start trading them up. Just be careful, I would say, because it's a micro cap. So you do have 1.5 million shares traded in 10 days. You have 90-day volume is 805 million. You have 18 million shares outstanding. 13 million shares are floated. Your short interest is only 2.69%, ironically. Probably just because it's so low, nobody thought that they could short it. But the market has taken a leg down. Porn stream. Shirtless Gary hasn't come out yet. AMD. SPY is down. But Bed Bath & Beyond has lost its muster, even at $4. Is below the 9-day, below the 21-day, below the VWAP. I still think that this volume shelf up here at 435 to 434. But see, here's what you have to know too. All of this with a potentially bankrupt company goes out the window. It's the same thing with MGAM. It's just a trade. I mean, you're not trading in this. You're trading in this stock to make money. But look at MGAM. I mean, it just, even the candles, a 5-minute candle, you have no fluctuation. I mean, you could get into this one, Gerald, at 114 and be okay. But the only time it moves is when you have this huge volume spike. And what's bringing volume to it? On the other hand, you got Mara on this one, which is losing some of its confirmation. See, it's down below here. But God, it's just been a monster run. You have the volume up here. Everybody poured into this name at the beginning of the day. And now people are just getting out of it. People have got, some of their money. They're just getting out of it. Brittany, bitch, I don't drink. I don't think I've ever brought that up. I don't drink alcohol at all. SUH? Let's look at SUH. I don't see SUH. Subro. Sue dude. What's Carvana at? Yeah, Carvana's lost its muster as well. Though I think the whole market just took a turn south. Everything seems to have taken a turn south. Even Tesla took a turn south. Sup. I thought that was sup. Sup, dude. Sup. I thought that was SUP. Although it's stand-up paddleboard too. Sup. So, I'm a boomer. Matthew, man. Remember, I'm 52 years old. What did I type? I typed to one of my friends, IMO, yesterday. And she was like, pardon me for asking, but what's IMO? I said, the only bad question is the one not asked. Wednesday. I have to call my brokerage. I used to, boogie board was my thing. I have not been successful standing up on a surfboard. Stand-up paddleboard, I'm good on. Surfboard, I'm not. And I blame my weak core. Standing up is not really a problem. The standing up paddleboard is not a problem. But actually getting up on a surfboard, you gotta have pretty strong abs to do that, because essentially you're standing on your hands. But sup. Hold on, let me vape. Let me scan some stuff. Because I for some reason, I could have sworn we would have James, man, don't throw your millennialism at me. Yeah. The Nike has really good workouts on Netflix. I like it. I like a lot. I'm looking to see if anything has crossed up, but I'm not seeing it. Remember what I said? Hey, it's going to get up here to this 435 to 444. Here we go. Mike, stop that shit. Mike, let me get you healthy. Stop vaping. Dan from TrendSpider vapes. I'm an edibles guy. Edibles only. I won't even smoke marijuana. Just think about it. Anything that smoke, I mean, it fucks with your lungs. So we got a green candle. If we get another green candle over here, and you're above 399, I think is where the 9-day kind of is going to be. It's got to be a green candle. If we get another green candle, I think you're moving to this 435. Yeah, that's what Dan did too, by the way, from TrendSpider. And full disclosure, I don't know Dan. Dan is just a Twitter guy that I follow on Twitter, and I opted into his platform of TrendSpider, and he's been super, super open on Twitter and active. And one of the reasons why I like TrendSpider, I think I was an early user. Not super early, but definitely an early user. But one of the reasons why I really like them is they'll take your suggestions and just run. And they'll make it happen. But he vaped to stop smoking. So it's baby steps. And Mike, you got my sympathy, man, because I had two neighbors in Florida who were smokers. And I saw the struggle after 20, 30 years of smoking. You got my sympathies, man. I'm trying to kick sugar, and I know how the mind plays games on you. It ain't easy, man. The sooner you can do it, the better, but I'm watching BBBY, man. James, quit flashing your millennialism at me. Yeah, 402. See what I told you? If we get a green candle here, we're halfway through the 5-minute candle. But if we get a green candle, I think you're good to go. You got 3 more minutes, though. It's building that base. See, so here, too. Notice the volume tick up. This volume, we're about halfway through, but it hasn't ticked up. I don't think CF's a bad one for midterm. BBBY is taking off here. Safari view. CF isn't a bad one. Go back to the strategy tester. I'm telling you, I'm naked without this strategy tester, man. CF isn't bad. I think you at some point in time, Zephin, you're hitting that 100 mark on CF. The only danger that you have is I believe there was this run up. Yeah. You broke this ascending triangle, and you did have this run up. But I think you're low enough on that MACD that you probably have timed it pretty well. I mean, again, I don't. The fertilizer, I mean, Putin is just going to get fucked. I mean, there we go, 410. I love the smell of vapes. I mean, vapes actually smell good. Taiwan Semiconductor up 2% today. That's one that just doesn't stop. So Beth and Mian, you got a couple minutes before couple seconds before the new candle, but you're closing up. 405. It's got to stay above 4 for the new candle. Yeah, I think we had like 30 people. There's a bunch of people that come in and out. VRO. 408. It's moving higher in the last minutes of the 5-minute candle. And look at the volume. The volume's almost up. Oh, and you're hitting the highs of the candle on the close. Boom. Take off. Yeah. Keep going. See the Bollinger Bands? And you got confirmation. You're hitting that 435. Let's see if we go up there. No, I'm not. Wow. So I didn't know this. I am not. Right now I am not. I am usually VRO, what I do, I'm pretty patient these days. Well, I don't chase a lot of stuff. But I do think with those couple of candles and that base forming, I do think you got 40 to 35 in this run. I wouldn't worry about that one red candle. I don't know if you guys knew this, but every game, over the weekend, NFL game covered the over by far, except for the Cowboys. The over-under was 45.5. And remember, the kicker missed 4 extra points. You would have had the over if he just made 1. He was in on it. I'm not, but VRO, I will probably get into stuff later today. Because I do have an itching to trade. I'll be right back. Okay, I just figured out I've got to respond to some private Facebook group stuff. You're capitulating. Founding members badge. Max bet on the World Series to me seems like. Yeah, I heard about that. Let me get into Facebook because I'm not sure which account I'm on here. Who messaged me on Facebook? See all profiles. I'll switch over. Then we'll get into the private Facebook group. Because there's a couple of people that I have to respond to. know how to work all this stuff. Let me get over here. Safari view. Tom's typing. Let's look at OP for Sam. Let's go to OP. What is OP? Ocean Pal. Oh boy. Sam, if you're on here, get the hell out of this one. It's a reverse split, 1 for 10, and it's still lost. It's not making money. We'll do this. Okay, Daisy, hold on. I gotta reply to Sam. It's not making money. Just did a reverse 10 for 1 split in order to stay listed. And okay. Bum 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 bum. There we go. Tom wants me to look up. I never know what Tom wants me to do. Tom posts hundreds of posts. Yeah, so the way Mac's thing works is he bets $1 million or something, and then he basically says it's an insurance policy. Yeah, VR, just go and join. Hold on. I think you can just click on that and join the group. Tom does a hell of a lot of a lot of reading, I think. But the way Mac's trade works is he gives away mattresses and he balances that out with a bet on the World Series. So essentially, he will bet more money than he's expected to give away on mattresses. And so if he loses, he sold a whole bunch of mattresses. It is private. Just go and ask to join. That's all you have to do. Popular topics in this group, TrendSpider. I don't know what the hell admin tools I have or anything, but yeah, so if he loses the bet, he sold a bunch of mattresses, so he comes out even anyway because he made money on the mattresses. If he wins the bet, everybody gets mattresses for free, but his costs are covered because he won the bet. So he just uses it as an insurance policy because he went to an actual insurance company and said, hey, I want to insure a raffle that I want to have on if the Astros win the World Series, that he gets that you get free mattress. And the insurance company said, sure, we'll do that. But it'll be like, $20,000 or something. And so he wound up just saying, hey, I'm just going to place a bet. Okay. But OP is bad. I was doing some scans, but I can't find anything that's crossing up. You know what we're going to look at? I'm going to look at I'm going to look at sectors. Finance. No. Oh. We're going to look at finance. Apparel. Finance. I bet there'll be a couple. Yeah, there's a lot more than a couple. Wow. Quite a bit. Bullpen Parlay Acquisition Company. That's a SPAC. They're waiting to. That's a SPAC. Bank shares. You know what I want to do? I want to search the entire S&P 500. And then I'm going to do small caps. Here we go. KR. Kroger. Kroger crossed up. Brandon created a room. Oh, I don't want to go. Tom is undervalued. Okay. Do. There you go. Yeah, anybody that wants to join in, just join. I mean, the question is fairly simple. Let's preview. I don't want to join a freaking room, though. I don't want to put anybody on blast. That's the problem. Man, Brandon, you know a hell of a lot more about Facebook than I do. I wouldn't even know how to start a room. SPTN, let's look. Spartan Nash Company. This is some like Wall Street, the movie from the 90s with Charlie Sheen kind of shit. Hey, we're going to take your company private for you. Let's go back here to the algorithm. Run. VRO, you got in, right? There were 2 people waiting to join. Now it tells me I have 11 members waiting to join. I'll look later. Yeah, and the reason I keep it private is because I don't want fucking spammers and stuff. I don't want the bro. Okay. YouTube. And then we'll go to the live. There's 106 people watching this dude go off about Biden. Stock market live. Jesus. This guy's got some great production value. I remember this guy. What's he?
Right now, you see that liquidity clearing out there. Clearing out there right now, the 15s. Will they be able to push it higher? When did I first start trading? How old was I? I was
Let me see.
in 2017. So
Oh, he started in
what, 3
2017.
years ago. I'm 34 now, so
Risotto.
yeah, that wasn't 3 years ago.
This dude?
Okay, I wanted to make this Thinkorswim tutorial on the basics to trading options on this platform on Thinkorswim. It's very straightforward. It's very simple how to trade options, and I'm gonna put some tips in here, some tricks in here to make the process a little more simpler than what it is. I do also have another video, and I'll mention it again as we move further into this video. Another trick to use when trading options with Active Trader. So if you haven't seen that video, please check it out. I'll go more into detail, like I said, a little further on into this video. But in order to trade options with Thinkorswim or with TD Ameritrade in general, you need to have options trading enabled with your account. If you don't have options trading available, you're not going to be able to.
It was from 2 years ago. My main goal from this YouTube channel is to help out new traders achieve an understanding and confidence in their abilities. He's not selling his stuff.
Okay, I wanted to make this tutorial on the basics to trading
One day ago, how I would start over as a beginner trader.
In this video, I want to go over how I would start over trading if I was a beginner again with little to no experience, or if I was just failing to be consistent, how I would switch up my approach, knowing what I know now with 7 years of trading. I'm going to talk about strategy to trade, I'm going to talk about instrument, risk, and also very important, psychology backing certain setups. I recently did a trading journey video.
I'm going to watch this for you.
When I started in 2016 to where I'm at now.
I'll let you know.
That video, I recommend watching it. I'll post a link in the description below. And basically, I'm going to go over in this video my mistakes and how I would switch up my approach to make my process more profitable in a faster manner. Before we get into the video.
First off, I will tell you, I like the fact that he's going over what he would do better. Because, I mean, you know, the best instruction you can do is to learn from the past. So I like that.
I recommend everybody to follow me on my Instagram at InvestiTrade. The link will also be in the description below. It's a very good resource. I post daily trading recaps along with really good just trading tips and tricks that you're not going to find anywhere else. The link will be in the description below.
I don't like that he's leading people into day trading, but that's just my take on it. You know, I guide you guys in day trading. Day trading should be a super, super small portion of your portfolio. Like, say, for instance, I'm starting with $1,000, which is, to some of you guys, probably what your portfolio is with. I would probably day trade less than $100. Honest to God. I would day trade less than $100. It goes into that 40-40-20. So out of $1,000, 400 of those dollars should be in long-term investments, either by VOO, one of the Vanguard things, Buy Apple. If you like Apple, buy a mix. Yeah. No, and you know, again, with free trades, it changes. Remember, this kid is probably, I would say, in his mid-20s. I'm 52. This kid hasn't lived where you have to pay $25 to sell and $25 to buy. It was a different world when you were having to pay for trades. Completely different world. Not holy cow, Zephin. Not holy cow. What did I tell you? It's going to chase 435, 444. Dude, why are you paying for a course? Why are you paying for a course? This is the course that you need. It's the Gary reacts to YouTube day traders. It's a must watch, bro. I'm telling you, you go into that 435. You can scalp this one. You know, the danger that you have, I mean, look at this green candle. If I ever saw a triple bar, it's this green candle and then the baby red candle and then this enormous candle right here that goes up to 425. Yeah, you got a triple bar. You're heading up there. You got the volume going with you? Shit, you're going back to four. Yeah, you're going to chase 435. Bro, hold on. Let me get my vape. Hold on, I'm going to get back to Safari before I lose train of thought.
Now, you're not following. But now I want to get to the first point. So this is a post that I wrote up for Invest the Trade members, and I seriously recommend everybody to start trading the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Whether you trade options on the S&P 500, you could trade SPY options. You could also trade SPX options. You could also trade QQQ options. If you're an options trader, good. Any S&P 500 or NASDAQ related instrument. And in this video, specifically, we're going to talk about trading the future contracts and specifically the micro E-mini contracts. Now, why I recommend strictly trading the S&P or NASDAQ, stop trading penny stocks.
Here. Let me go to YouTube, and okay. I need to subscribe to his channel. I can't believe I didn't subscribe. Go and follow. I'm going to share this. Zephin, I want you to go and watch this guy, and specifically about his trading. Some of these I tried. Like I tried trading with $1,000. Again, I tried trading with $1,000. He does the S&P microcap trading. You don't want to do that. So this is the bad part of this kid's advice. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. Part of it is, yeah, you can make money and you can find a way to do it, but you lose a lot of money. Daniel Inskeep is probably he's got a really good production style too. I like his production because it's like 5-10 minutes, it's 20 minutes of just a green screen kind of thing. He kind of goes over, keeps you, entertained with music and stuff. But Daniel Inskeep has shown me that, yeah, if you want to trade, you can trade. But most likely, you're going to lose money. And over the past 5 years, I mean, this kid Carmine probably had the greatest years of his life trading where he couldn't lose. But you're in a bear market now. You're in a market that probably is in a trading range. You're in a market that probably will have continued upside and downside. It's just been all upside for the past 25 years. Other than COVID and the 2008 housing crisis. But if you were trading futures in COVID, man, you got your ass handed to you. If you're trading during the 2008, 2009 housing crisis, you got your ass handed to you. You went bankrupt. So that's why I say, 40, 40, 20. You don't want to bankrupt your entire account. If you lose 10% of your entire portfolio, yeah, it hurts. But you know what? You still have 90% of your portfolio. So just be careful. While this kid, I'd love to look into the future 50 years from now and see where this kid got his money, because I guarantee you the majority of his money has come from the courses that he sells. So
In crypto, forex, if it works for you, good, keep at it. I'll never say not to do it. It's just something that I don't do, and I can only explain how I would start over with the knowledge that I have now.
that's key. Whatever makes you comfortable is what you should trade. He's not guiding you into trading, specific stuff. Whatever makes you comfortable. I will guide you in historically. People haven't made their money in futures. People haven't made their money in options. People haven't made their money trading. They have made their money traditionally the Warren Buffett style, the unsexy style. It is just buy and hold. It is buy good companies at good values at good times. Simple as that.
As a beginner trader, and I would strictly focus on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. You can make a lot of money on these names.
I like him so far. I don't think he's a scammer. I still don't think I'd buy his course, though.
Markets, because that's their niche, and they also know the personality of these markets. It works with any trading strategy you use, and because these markets
I'll subscribe to
are
him.
liquid, in my opinion, they are easier to trade and formulate a system around. Now, since I recommend every beginner trader to be trading the micro E-mini contracts, I recommend starting with a small amount of capital when you first start out. You don't need that much money to trade futures. A lot of people pull up the futures charts, they see 3,900, they think, okay, for me to buy one contract, it's going to cost $3,900. Which in the futures world, it's not true. Now, trading futures, you are trading a highly leveraged instrument, and it requires margin. So I recommend everybody to get knowledge on margin.
Danger. I think I've said it before. Do not trade on margin. Do not trade on margin. It can wipe out. I mean, this guy goes, hey, start with a small position, but then he's saying trade on margin. You can wipe out your entire fucking account on margin.
Trading and understand the risks that are involved trading with margin. Now, depending on your broker, it truly depends on the platform and the broker you use. Trading micro contracts with some platforms could cost as little as $50. Some could cost as little as $1,000, $1,500. It really depends on your broker. And I definitely recommend finding out how much margin is required for your broker. And there is specific exchange requirements that every broker must require depending on the margin maintenance. But
Yeah.
you do not need a lot of money specifically trading any futures, including the micro E-minis, which the small amount of capital is needed to open up a position. Also, very, very small risk is involved. This is probably the benefit of trading these
No.
days, is for every 1 point move on the micro E-mini contracts, it's about a $5 increase or decrease. So if the S&P 500 moves 10 points, the most you're going to lose on that 10 points is $50 per contract, and the most you're going to win is $50 per 10 points per contract. A micro contract is 1/10 of the value of a standard ES contract. All the costs are 1/10 of the value of a standard E-mini contract. And also trading futures, it is easier to manage your risk, and it's also just easier to manage the trade with less emotions involved because there are less external factors that are influencing your position. If you trade options, not only do you have to be correct with the direction of the market, but you also need to be correct on the time of that position moving in your favor. So with options, there is...
I'm going back and looking at Bed Bath & Beyond. It's still moving up towards that 433. So far I'm not super impressed.
Price because of a time factor. So some people, I see beginner traders can't even get the direction right. So if you you can't get the direction right.
Because here's what I'm viewing, Zephin. I'm thinking of somebody, 18, 19 years old, who's kind of sitting there in college between courses, and they're like, I want to become a beginner day trader. How do I do it? Well, the way that you do it is you invest in a company, and this is why I won't trade options. This is why I won't trade anything that doesn't necessarily have value. Remember when I told you, I said you don't want to hold UVixy, you don't want to hold Boyle, you don't want to hold KOLD, you don't want to hold SOXL, you don't want to hold those things because they're levered ETFs. They have actually zero value. Zero value. Buy Google. It has value. Buy QQQ. Instead of trading TQQQ, which trades the options market in order to leverage it, buy QQQ because that's actual ownership of the thing. So I don't agree with him. Hey, if you're a beginner trader, go and do this. And I realize too, there's a lot of people who see this stuff and think it's a get rich quick scheme. Yeah, people can make money in this, but you don't want to, again, if I'm guiding you into buying Google at 86 and it drops down to 60, am I worried about you? No, because that's an $80, $90 company easily, at 16 PE. Hey, Matthew, take care. But that's where I think this guy is kind of leading people a little bit wrong. But I won't say it. He's misguiding people. I just think he's a 20-something who's trying to talk to teenagers, and he doesn't realize that he can lead them down a direction that actually is life-changing, because there are people who just get greedy. And when you're trading these contracts and you're saying, well, yeah, you only lose 5, why don't I go to the big contracts?
Makes you think. Another factor you need to worry about is time itself. So going back to the risk aspect, let's just say we wanted to take the S&P 500 short, and if you trade the micro contracts, you can even chart off of the regular E-mini contract.
This is where I have a problem.
Let's just say we wanted to get short below this 3867 level. That was our entry. It cost us $50 worth of our margin. The broker puts up the rest.
Don't buy this course, Zephin.
Risk aspect comes into the picture.
I'm not saying it's not worth it. He probably teaches you very good stuff. But you know what?
We're risking 8 points. For every single point we risk,
I don't think I'm logged into Fidelity.
It's $5. So in this example, we're risking $40. If where I'm hovering my cursor over is our stop loss, that if we get short below this red line, stop loss above here, if we are incorrect, we know.
Go to Fidelity and go to Learning Center.
And in this case, it's $40. Now our target is this green line.
So this may not be as sexy, but this is Fidelity's website. Investing and trading strategies. Getting started trading. They're going to guide you through everything that he does. And you know what? You don't have to pay $3.99. And you're getting a better education. Advanced trading strategies. Using margin. They're going to show you exactly what you need to do to use the margin. What is your margin 101? Rules of margin. Strategies for margin trading. Right there. Trading options. In the money. Options today in the market. I mean, basics of options. Should you trade options? Choosing an option strategy. What is a covered call? Option strategy. The bear put. These are all articles, but there's videos. Buying calls, beginner's guide. Covered calls, puts. I mean, look at all of this. More trading strategies. What is Bitcoin? Planning for a trade. Let's see. Trade futures options. Let's see if there's anything here. What does Fidelity give me? Yeah, see, you got better education here. He's not a scammer, I would say. But I also I'd be wary. I think he's giving good advice. Just don't buy his. I guarantee you, most of his course is covered in his YouTube channel. It's kind of like Charlie. So here, let's go to Zip Trader. We'll look up Zip Trader because Charlie, I think he usually runs specials. We can see. Yeah, this is the Zip Trader U. It's $4.99, but he runs specials where you can get it for like $300. And it's a course, same thing. But 99% of his course is right here. The value that Charlie has is his Discord. So Carmen, I don't think he's leading you down a wrong path just in looking at it. Okay, it's 12 o'clock, but I'm going to go. And Bed Bath & Beyond lost its confirmation. I still think you're heading up to that 435, though. I think it's just taking a break. But remember what I said, the morning candle is always bigger than the afternoon candle. I'll look at his demand and supply stuff. Just, Evan, please tell me you're not spending money on his course, because that would make me feel bad. Again, $300 to $400 on TrendSpider. I think you're getting a benefit of understanding charting, and you're getting to look at these things. You can create a strategy from there that's not necessarily based on somebody else. It's based on your own comfort level. You don't have to, it's something that will travel with you and you'll be okay with. And TrendSpider will absolutely guide you, I think, and it'll be there for you for the long term. I don't think the trading options is a good thing. Now, there are some people that have gotten rich trading options, but way more people have gone poor trading options. Yeah, value investing, Larry, is by the way, Larry, you got to watch Impractical Jokers. Larry! Joe. Joe on Impractical Jokers always yells Larry. So, okay, yeah. I'm going to go, though. Zevin, I promise I'll watch more of him. I do think he has value there. Daniel's really good. Watch his stuff as a... Yeah, a lot of these guys show you... they'll flex on their... I don't think Carmine flexes. I don't get the flex vibe from him. I actually don't. I don't get the flex vibe at all from him. Oh, stop. We're going to just close that. But they are. Larry! And I keep telling you, Zephin, switch from E-Trade. Although Morgan Stanley should increase. Yeah. I think E-Trade's doing well. Power E-Trade is, Active Trader Pro. It's all the same. Yeah, I'll look at Carmine. I don't think he's leading you down a bad path. I would just argue that I think he makes it look easier than it is. If I were to, like, for instance, a lot of, and I'm honest with you guys, a lot of my flex is, God, look at how much Roblox. Well, if I go back and look at my my YouTube, there were probably 4 or 5 stocks that are down in the dumps that I recommended during this same period that went up to 30, not this 20%. So it's sometimes it's all about not necessarily the flex, but hey, look at how I was right and pay me $400. It's a lot of money. Market's coming back though. Yeah, it's kind of even. Goldman Sachs is the killer. Remember where I said if you could get Goldman Sachs with a 3-4 handle? I think you're going under that 200 day. I think 341 could be in play here. God, why do I do this, man? I always get distracted. Goldman Sachs is single-handedly bringing the Dow down. Look, and you still don't have confirmation on this one. Okay.